Joe Piscopo, are you ready? You've been waiting all your life for this. Who would ever think that such an extraordinary, you could say to yourself, I bet you Joe wasn't saying to himself, I want to be in the Hall of Fame, but I can't even imagine what he's feeling tonight because so many of his family members are here and he'll talk about that. But when I saw Joe meet this gentleman as he walked in, the gentleman who will be inducting him, they may not be connected by blood, but you can see a connection, and it's not just because they're Italian, even though there's that too. I saw Chaz Palminteri first in A Bronx Tale, which deserves a tremendous round of applause, and then went to see him on Broadway in A Bronx Tale. And my wife, who is half Irish, was confused most of the time. That's another story. An Academy Award nominee for his role in Bullets Over Broadway. Chaz Palminteri is here tonight to talk about his friend and tell a true Jersey tale about the gentleman we're about to induct. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chaz Palminteri.
I am dark and you are light.
You are blind as a bat and I have sight. Side by side you are my amigo.
Living in perfect harmony.
We're talking salt and pepper, Sammy and Dean, Stevie and me are Peachy Keen.
You are white.
You are black, and who cares? Who cares, baby?
As we saw that sketch on Saturday Night Live, we all kind of remember where we were at that time because it was such groundbreaking stuff in the 80s. When Joe came out with Eddie Murphy and did that, it was an incredible thing what he did. Because no one talked about that back then, Joe doing Frank and Eddie doing Stevie. And they broke such new ground back then. Joe is not only a wonderful comedian, he's a comic, he's an actor, he's a writer, he does his one-man show. Joe is really a great artist. And a lot of times, because of the way he is, he's so humble and he has so much humility. Sometimes, we take it as, some people take it as, well, he's Joe Piscopo, he's good, but Joe is really great. Sometimes the people who get into their heads and they're so difficult, they are the geniuses, but that's wrong. You could be a real nice guy and still be a great artist too. And that's Joe Piscopo, the artist. And I want to say about Joe the man, and that's why I'm really here. Not only do I respect him as an artist, I respect him as a man. Because when someone needs something, when Sandy hit New Jersey, Joe was there. When people need to raise money for someone who's sick, for some food bank, for someone caring, especially in New Jersey, Joe is always there. Joe reminds me of that person that you could always count on. And that's why when they called me and they said, Joe would like you to speak for him, I said, when, where, I'll be there. And that's why I'm here. My dad always said, there are two kinds of people in the world. There's the givers and there's the takers. He said the takers sleep better, the takers eat better, but the givers sleep better. Joe Piscopo is a real giver. And I want to say this not to Joe, but to all the people here tonight. Like Governor Kane said, public service, like the Lieutenant Governor said, to give back, like Kathleen said, to give back. The great Jersey Joe Walcott set an example for himself and his people. All the people here tonight gave back, not for themselves, but for everyone. And when you help one person, you just don't help one person. You help that person become a better human being, and that person gets married, and they have children, and they have more children, and it spreads a universe. It's like throwing a rock into a river, and the river ripples. It's a universe. I am humbled to be here tonight with all the great people here. I am humbled to be in the presence of Dr. Buzz Aldrin. I really am. When I see him, I say, my God. When I get on a plane to go to Florida, I always check the weather. I say, is it raining? Is it weather? Here's a man who went to the moon. To the moon. And I say, when you go to the moon, there was no way back. If something happened, there was no way to save anybody. I look at him and I bow and I'm humbled to see in his presence. These are givers. All of the people here tonight are givers. And my friend, one of the biggest givers of all, Joe Piscopo.
He's such a great guy. He's one of the great talents, you know, in entertainment, one of the great film actors of our time, Chaz Palminteri. And as if you've seen him on The Bronx Tale, he does it live on stage. It's so captivating to watch this man work just from hearing him speak. So you got to see Chaz of The Bronx Tale live on stage. But he's a great humanitarian himself. He's a great father, and he's a great friend and a great husband. And I got to get him back to the Bronx. If you want to leave, you go ahead. It's okay. Just get it back now. He's so funny. Ray, do you remember Ray Chambers when Michael, we have the honor of having Ray Chambers be the godfather of my son Michael, and when Chaz was there. And Chaz has this intuitive sixth sense. He could see and feel people. And when he looked in Michael's eyes, do you remember this, Ray? And he looked at Michael and he goes, oh, he's an old soul. He's an old soul. And indeed, remember that? My son indeed is an old soul. I love you, Chaz, and thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate this. I am honored here. And we're going to get you out of here by Thursday, so sit tight. It'll be all right. It's not a problem. We're going to have you. I am so proud to be from Jersey, and I'm so proud to be among the greats that are on this stage. I mean, I see my friend Bobby Brown. I see Governor Tom Kaine, who did the ABC special with me all those years ago, who had the courage when Eddie Murphy and I called the day, and we said, will the governor be on the ABC New Jersey special? This man stepped up, and you killed it, Governor. You were great. It was very funny, and it was on national. You are such a great spokesperson. And Ray Chambers, you know what? I got to tell you, and we're going a little long, obviously, but I have to tell you, and we're going to introduce Ray. But Ray's been a mentor to me. And when I went to Los Angeles for a little while, and there was an earthquake, you know, and the ground moved out there, you know, and I'll tell you, I ran like a scared rabbit back to Jersey, right? But I'm real religious. I'm like hopelessly Italian Catholic, you know. So I had my St. Joseph statue in Los Angeles there, and the ground moved. The St. Joseph statue fell off the ground, and the head broke off. Like it was like The Exorcist, you know. Everybody's looking for flashlights. I'm looking for super glue to put the head back on St. Joseph, you know. So, but I remember in L.A., because in Hollywood, I'm not like Chaz on the A list. I'm not on the B list. I'm not even on the wait list in Hollywood, you know. So it's like, so I ran back to Jersey, knowing in L.A. the people that needed help the most were the people that were really hurt the most. You know, the whole community by the earthquakes. But I couldn't help. I came back. I went to Ray Chambers, man. I said, Ray, how do I give back? It was almost 20 years ago, and that's why I'm here today, because of the vision of Ray Chambers. We went to the Boys and Girls Clubs in Newark, and we went and we saw the at-risk children in Newark, and we went all around, and in those children, in the eyes of those children, I saw myself and thought, there, but for the grace of God go all of us. So I'm here because, we're going to bring up Ray, and I don't want to take any of that thunder away, but I wanted to acknowledge that, because that's the man that started me on this mission to help others. And I know I'm here. I wrote the jokes 20 years ago. What can I tell you, folks? I wrote a lot of the jokes. Honestly, some of the jokes in New Jersey write themselves. Thank you very much. It's just like, you can't, but I did write the line, "What exit, Lieutenant Governor?" I hope you don't mind, and that was great. But it's especially, I have to acknowledge some people here today. You know, Anthony Pope, my attorney, my dear friend Anthony. Thank you, man. You're the best friend a guy could have. Always watching my back. I appreciate that. My son, my number one son, Joey, is here. In New Jersey, I have a child at every exit, and he's my number one right there. So I got exit 145 right there. Okay. I love you, Joey, heart and soul, and thank you. And I have to tell you, I have to step right down here. You can hear me. My 9-year-old daughter, Olivia, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and you're not going to school tomorrow. Don't worry about it. That's right. You can stay home. So and Joe Standish, thank you for helping, and on the board of directors of the Boys and Girls Club, doing such a great job, and being the host here, we appreciate it. And Louis, we love you guys that are here. But the reason why it's so moving to me to be here is because my mother and my father were brought up in this great city. My father was brought up in Mount Prospect Avenue, and my father always told me the crossroads of the world were Broad and Market Street in Newark. I remember hearing that. To my pop, that was it, man. It was Newark, New Jersey, and he, went from Newark. They made fun of him with his Italian accent, but he took that Jersey attitude, and he went to school, and he skipped grades, and he went on to represent, as an attorney, to represent the non-English speaking blue-collar laborers that his father was. That's the Jersey spirit, you know? And I have to remember and acknowledge my father. He has such a strong presence in my life and such a Newark guy, you know? But I'm really moved tonight because my mother's here tonight. And my mother was born on East Kinney Street, right up the road here, right off of Broad and Mulberry, right up there, East Kinney. Now, Mom is like, she's the boss of the family, and she is the backbone of the family. And I have to tell you, to be up here with all this great talent, Steve Adabata, my dear friend, you know that, and Bart Oates and Steve Edwards, you do such a great job here, and Nikki Greco's in the house, all my dear friends. It is so special for me to be here to see my mother receive this. And I am eternally grateful to you, because this is better than the Academy Awards. This is about Jersey, baby. This is about my mom from East Kinney Street, a family of 10 from Newark, New Jersey. Coming here, to come full circle like this with my mom in the audience is what the Hall of Fame stands for. And tonight, it's about everything that I live for in the state. It's about integrity, it's about character and loyalty and community. Tonight, I stand before you most humbled and honored to be among such notable citizens, because tonight is about the greatest place on planet Earth, New Jersey, USA. God bless you. That's it.